Yo, what's going on, everyone? It's Brian and Jim here at Drink a Beer and Play a Game, and welcome to another episode of the Power Hour Podcast.
Yes, hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 307. Thank you for joining us tonight. Speaking of joining,
Jim, this tastes like banana runts.
well, I guess we're just jumping right into that.
Sorry. It actually took...
Brian, what are we drinking tonight?
No. How's it going, Jim?
No, you had your chance.
Isn't it good to see you?
No, we don't have to pretend to be human. That's fine. It's good.
Jim, I can't help it. I legit got surprised when I took a sip of the beer you brought. I was pleasantly surprised.
While we're on topic, tonight we are going to be drinking from the Mutant Brewing Company, the Boring Banana Bread. Banana Bread Ale, 6.5% alcohol by volume. So the art on it is a little dated as of this point, because it's like looking that it has that Bored Ape look from like 2022. So like all Mutant Brewing kind of has that same kind of look to it for some reason. I guess it's post irony because like it's not like it looked good at the time, but I mean whatever. But this is a brewery up in like Lehigh Valley, Pennsylvania. That anytime I see my father-in-law, basically I'm like, go to Mutant and buy me a shitload of sours. But it's not all sours up there.
No.
And yeah, we got to say. Some would say a damn fine banana bread ale.
Dude, well,
I can't give you the aroma because my allergies are killing me. So if I'm a sniffle bitch, you know why.
The banana, I've had a lot of banana flavored beers, even banana bread. What was it? One of the first beers we tried
Shock
was
Top,
that,
I think.
It was Shock Top, and then there was that English one, right? I think it was just called banana bread.
Something like that, yeah.
They're really good. This one, though, I took a sip, and right away I was like, it reminded me of specifically the Runts flavored banana.
Yeah, that's actually like a perfect description.
I really like it. Some people hate, and I know a lot of people that hate that banana one in Runts, which I'm like, why?
I mean, if you're having Runts, like, why are you going to hate any one of them? They all taste like overblown sugar fruit.
Yeah, but no, this, as I'm sipping on it more, I'm like, all right, get Runts out of your head. Right away, I do taste like brown sugar. I taste walnuts. Like, I taste banana bread. It's
very bready in the aftertaste.
This is very good. For 6.5%, I don't even know how to...
Absolutely no booze in the drinking. It's super smooth.
No, it's smooth, and it's like... I don't know if by the end of this, I'll be like, ooh, it's too sweet. But so far, it's damn good. Jim, good job bringing some beer.
Hey, I was due.
So as you can tell, we're together. We actually just recorded a couple ranking videos. So by the time you're watching this, the next week, you're going to at least see one of them. I don't want to spoil all of it. Let's just say our last ranking video at DBD, you guys had a lot of requests.
Dead by Daylight, for those who don't know what DBD is.
Yeah, I always forget that. So yeah, we said, you know what? We finally got a chance. Let's get together. It's Memorial Day. Let's blast out as many as we can. So we're a couple beers deep. Three Rolling Rocks to be specific.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it is Memorial Day, so if you know a vet out there, make sure to give them some love today. You know, doesn't matter what you think about the military or the army, just thank them for their service because they didn't have to do that.
Yeah.
Unless they, are useless and had nothing else to do, and then, then they got something out of it. So,
They're still doing a thing most of us would never be too afraid to do.
Oh, yeah, I'm a pussy, so I would never do that.
But Chambers, yeah, it's been a while. I feel like
It's been a while.
Mud shovel. Listen to it, Jim. That's exactly how I said it to you.
That is.
But I feel like we've actually hung out more than we've had opportunities to get together to record. So it's good seeing you. Now, the past couple of weeks, I feel like we've both been on the same pace of we got too much shit going on. How's your last week been? Have you been able to play anything, or are you still kind of in a drought because you're too busy?
So I am busy, but I'm doing my homework, all right? I got to get this done. We have these reviews we got to do for Patreon. So I think like 4 of the days last week and actually this morning, I've been putting my time in X-Men 2: The Clone Wars. That game is a son of a bitch.
Is it growing on you with enjoyment, or is it just frustration for how annoying it is?
Ebbs and flows, because So I'll give it this, like, excuse the burps. I'm on my 4th. It's going to happen. All right, I'm just getting that out of the way right now. But so this is one of those games that's like, it's very hard, but you do feel the like yourself getting better every time.
Okay.
So it's very cool how it's like, you'll randomly like you'll get to you'll just hit a wall with a level. And you'll be like, how the fuck do I get past this? And then with like your last life, you're gonna figure it out. So the next time you play through, you might go through that level without losing a single life. It's a lot of just figuring out what you need to do and who the best character for these levels are.
Okay.
So I mean, the farthest I've gotten is like I'm in the Brood ship. And it's a 25-year-old game. Who cares about spoilers? Yeah. But so I think that's like one of the last levels. Okay. So I'm very far in it, but like it is just a tough son of a bitch of a game. And I haven't figured out the best character for this level yet. So,
dude, when we first, the last time we got together and did a bunch of recording, we played through the original X-Men. And we got to a point where, like, fuck it, we're going to put in codes.
Already way better than the original X-Men game.
Yeah, and that original game, Jim and I have a ton of nostalgia for. Like, I remember playing it with my brother all the time, but, yeah, certainly not beating it because of how fucking tough it was. And even with the code and the cheats, Jim and I were, like, struggling to, like, we're like, what the fuck? Like, you just had to basically spam as Nightcrawler and just teleport through most of the level to even make it to the end. But
and then I had to still look up a guide. Well, we plan on doing a video for that first X-Men game too before we do the Patreon review. Mm-hmm. But even then I still had to look up a guide for how to beat fucking Magneto because you have such a small window to actually attack him and you have to do like a certain stand here, move over here, blah blah blah.
It's so ridiculous.
How did anyone ever beat that?
But we literally went from we beat that game and then we're like, oh, let's put on X-Men 2. Dude, we both died so many times on that opening level until we're like, once again, I think it was like Nightcrawler, we're like, you just kind of have to get over here. Like, I couldn't believe how tough that opening level was.
It's funny because it makes you feel dumb. Because once, like now, I blow through that, like, opening level. The first like 7 levels in the game I blow through now without losing a life, basically.
Yeah.
Just because it's like, you do them enough. I mentioned it last week. I'm so sick of these opening levels because I've done them enough at this point. But it is a thing where it's just like, it's good design where it's like you really learn from your mistake and then you just kind of blow past until the next obstacle.
Yeah. But I remember we played that and I feel like I got decently far considering I didn't know the game where I kept getting to that level where the timer when everything's exploding in the Sentinel.
Oh, that's super early in the game.
Yeah, but I'm saying like I was like, what the fuck? Like I dumb lucked myself out of it the first time. The second time I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
But I remember thinking like this game runs smoother than the first, but I could see where the annoyances were.
Oh, you don't even know.
But I'm glad you've been focusing on that. Obviously, you're still uploading your StarCraft.
Yes, over at Jim StarCraft Struggles, the second page. So if you want to watch a guy suck at a game, that is the perfect place for you.
Do you feel yourself getting better at that game?
It's funny because like I see these uploads, and those were recorded back in like March. So like I'm like watching like when I put them up, I'm like trying to find a still to make a thumbnail and crap. Yeah. And, like, I'm seeing little bits of the gameplay, and I'm like, oh, I would fucking wreck myself 2 months ago now.
Okay.
Not like I'm any good still, but I'm definitely better than I was back there.
Yeah, naturally.
Yeah. But I'm also, like, I have so many goddamn videos backlogged. I'm like, maybe we'll just put it to, like, daily or, like, something like that just to catch up.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, a game like that.
It's slop. It's just me talking over my gameplay as I'm playing the game, so it's not like it's a struggle for me to put these videos together. Let's call a spade here. But, I still love me playing my StarCraft, and I've actually did a little more time in Prince of Persia, Lost Crown, fully into Metroidvania mode, and it's a pretty cool game. It's very smooth. It gives you it doesn't handhold you, but it gives you a lot of ways to like not lose track of shit, which I appreciate. Okay. Like you can basically take like an in-game screenshot, which they call like a memory or something like that. You have certain memory tokens. So, like, you can be like, oh, that's what I need for here. And I remember something here, and you can check through all your screenshots and be like, oh, that's where I needed to do this. So, I guess for, like, the pure hardcore Metroidvania fanatics might not like it because it takes the, what the hell do I do now out of it in a lot of ways. But I like that because I just went through hell.
You're a gamer, yeah.
Yeah. And it, like, I'm, like, 10% of the map done, and I'm 2.5 hours in.
Yeah.
So, it's going to be, like, a 20-hour game, at least. Which, to me, is a little much for a Metroidvania, but it's fine. So, whatever. But no, it's a good game so far. So yes, I've done me some gaming. In between, the wife wants to watch new Final Destination. But first she was like, well, we should watch all the other ones beforehand.
Yep.
So we've been plowing through all those.
Yeah,
So
they're
actually,
good.
yeah, they are. They're fun.
It's a
4 is a hate crime. The Final Destination. Absolutely awful. But the rest of them, they got their ups and downs.
it's a franchise that, for horror especially, it gets overlooked. It's easy to be like, oh yeah, those movies. The first one, no one denies how great it is. The other ones, I'm like, there's some pretty good. I actually equate it to like Saw. Saw was easy to write off because there's some terrible ones, but everyone's like, yeah, torture porn, we get it. Final Destination, it's like, how many ways can you just make someone die? And you're like, there's actually a lot of creative ways.
I gotta say, I am shocked by how 5 won me over. Because you think, you're 5 movies in, like, what more can you come to at this point?
They figure it out.
Yeah, solid series. And I hear the new one's, like, great. So that's why I wanted to do it, so.
It'll be, I definitely want to see that. Obviously, being obsessed with horror, it will be sad. Tony Todd's
Final performance.
And I said, I knew him always. I said, my favorite horror movie is actually Night of the Living Dead, but 1990 with Tom Savini. Tony Todd starred in that, and I saw that before I saw the original. So, to me, he's always been from that. But yeah, so similarly, ironically, I tried to go on my Xbox. I was like, let me put in Black Myth Wukong. I didn't realize it's not available for Xbox.
Yeah, it's just what, Steam and PS5?
Yes.
Yeah.
So if you go on Wiki, it's like will be available on Xbox. So it like led me down. I was like, am I fucking stupid? Am I putting this in wrong?
Aha.
But no, so it's been more or less another week. I traveled this week, so I haven't even been home for a couple days. And then it's been DBD where I can get it. I've been obsessed with this like 2v8 mode. And yeah, there's just some dumb motherfuckers in that game, Jim.
I bet.
Some angry dudes too. And you know how I like to poke the bear.
Oh, do I know?
I like to make you question your own sanity.
Oh, do I know?
But I am once again, this week will be a shorter week with us being off today. So I am really hoping Ocarina of Time, I think I'm committed to like, since my son will take my Xbox during the nights, I'm like, you know what? I can set that up on a different TV. Let me just sit down, get through it. I'm trying to get myself excited. Like I almost want to watch someone give a good review on it to get me excited to play it.
Right, it would be very hard to find a good review of Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time on YouTube. I don't know where you will find that, Brian.
I don't know. Someone's got to help recommend something to me, Chambers. But yeah, as you pointed out, as I keep drinking this, I like this beer a lot. It's pretty damn good. It's better than the Rolling Rocks we've had. I'll give it that.
I mean, they have their place. They each have their different place.
But just like you, I've also toyed with the idea. I was like, let me go through X-Men 2 again. I know you're getting the footage. I'm definitely going to play through it just so I can experience more of it. But obviously, we're doing that with the intent of being able to complete these Patreon reviews, which wouldn't be possible without the support you guys have given us. So, Chambers, what questions we got this week?
Over at patreon.com/drinkbeerandplayagame, where for as little as $2 a month, you can ask a question that we will answer on each and every single one of these Power Hour podcasts. And this week, just one from good old JD Maines, the man who gave us X-Men 2.
Oh, yeah.
The best movie drinking game is...
Ooh.
Watch Django and take a shot every time they say the N-word.
See, you and I were thinking kind of similar, but you can see where your mind goes.
Yes,
I was going to say Scarface every time he says fuck, because I believe that has the most fucks in the movie, or at least it did. So I would have said take a drink every time he said fuck. You went Django.
I went a little more controversial round, I guess.
Either way, it's funny.
I'm just trying to give you your money's worth, people. You're welcome.
Yeah, like, it would be easy to say a Tarantino movie with cursing. Like I said, Scarface with cursing. I'm trying to think of a non-obvious answer to give. Like, so cursing that... You could go like a Michael Bay movie with explosions, but I guarantee you it's not as much as it's been hyped up.
Thanksgiving, every time they make the John Benet Ramsey joke.
I mean, those are some back-to-back moments. Fuck that. I really like the idea of a drinking game for a movie.
And I mean, do you almost pull a drinking game that's from a movie? Because then you got to like take one of them from Beer Fest, I guess.
I was going to say,
I'm sure they just bullshitted some of those. There's no way they're all real.
Here's the deal. How about in Beer Fest, every time someone sips a beer?
You got to play Drink with Beer Fest.
Debubble?
Debubbling. Frustrating.
Jim, this summer, do we need to recreate some of the games created in Beer Fest?
I think we might have to.
I mean, some of them are... we can't really recreate, but I feel like the others...
I mean, we could make actual Beirut instead of... Or Beirut is beer pong, but actual beer pong.
Yeah.
That's got to be hard as fuck to try and hit a beer pong ball into those things. That's got to take forever.
That would be... Yeah. See, you suck at chugging, but
the boot would be terrible.
Well, you also are terrible at pouring. So the one where the guy pours...
upside down.
I don't know which one is worse. You trying to be the one to drink it, or you being the one to pour it?
Well, the upside down one just defies the laws of gravity and physics. Like,
but you can. But your muscles are what pull liquid into.
I know you're turning your throat into a pump station there. Like, I get it. You're like, pushing upflow.
I'm not even talking about that one. I'm talking about the one where the guy lays on his back and another one's like on a ladder and was pouring the beer from a distance.
Oh yeah, I was assuming he was doing like a headstand for some reason.
No,
yeah.
But you suck at pouring and damn.
There's a lot of variables there.
I don't know.
It would go
poorly. We're gonna have to try. You know what? Just to try it. It'll be good footage either way. Thank you, Jim.
Get a tarp.
Good. We'll be outside. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, true. We'll do it at your place.
Yeah, let's. We'll do a whole series. Oh, you and I have already done chugging challenges, and we've seen how bad you are. I want to see you doing the boot.
Oh, I would do terrible.
That's how you lost the Nintendo World Championship.
Sure is. Don't think I'm not bitter. Bitter for a lot of reasons. Bitter on how I lost. Bitter that I paid $100 for that repro cart, and then it got instantly flagged for copyright, and it never gets pushed. What a good investment.
Jim, you're not bitter at all.
I'm never bitter. I'm a happy boy.
But yeah, I mean, outside of that, yeah. Cursing in a Tarantino movie or Scarface, drinking during Beer Fest, or is there another movie you can think of where something very obvious happens? You'd have to pick like a zombie movie, like Dawn of the Dead remake, and every time a zombie gets killed.
Yeah.
Like, so if you want to drink excessively, which I recognize most people aren't like me and Jim. So
yeah, you don't have problems. Lucky you.
But I do like that question, though. JD, if you have any suggestions for a drinking game during a movie, you let us know, because now I'm really curious.
Yeah, seriously. I know there's something super obvious I'm forgetting here.
Yeah.
But yeah, that wraps up the Patreon questions for this week. So once again, thank you to everyone out there for all the support, as usual. Head on over there, check out all the tiers for all the different bonus content. If you're listening on iTunes, Podbean, or Apple, or YouTube, or whatever the hell, head on over there, give some subscriptions, give some stars, give some likes, give some comments. Anything you can do can and will help the page. And speaking, don't just help us, help some of our friends over here. So, head on over to ghettogamer.net, and if you want to get yourself some Super NES or NES games at good prices, use our code DBPG to get yourself a nice little discount on your first order. And also, if you want to help yourself out, head on over to Skillshare, use our code DBPG30, get 30% off a year of one class, and, learn some history, learn a new skill, learn something for once, you stupid fuck. So head on over to Skillshare, use our code, head over to Ghetto Gamer, go to Skillshare, learn how to be a better gamer, and then buy the game from Ghetto Gamer. It just works.
I don't think calling them a stupid fuck works, Jim.
Brian, that was in the script. What are you talking about?
I've actually looked into that. There's some interesting classes I'm considering.
They have a lot of good shit on there.
Yeah. Now, check it out. Make sure you support those guys. They help support us. And thank you all for the continued support, guys.
Yep. Cheers,
Cheers to that. So, Chambers, speaking of support, there's a certain class of comedians, Todd Glass, Tom Segura, who likes to joke about the poors, meaning regular folks.
Right.
it's a, I don't even want to call it hacky, but I think it's a thing that now has been done enough where you're like, okay, I get it. Then there's guys that, you know, you wouldn't think would kind of be suggesting figure it out, poor people.
Some who, pardon me once again, some who you would think might have a little more tact and decorum, but then you remember who they are and you go, oh yeah, it's Randy fucking Pitchford.
Yeah, so what's he say to his fans that, you know, they're seeing the potential price tag for Borderlands 4 at $80 and they're saying, what the fuck? Like, this is ridiculous. What's his response, Chambers?
Well, Bri, there is a famous Photoshopped picture on the internet of Paris Hilton throwing her arms up with her shirt saying, stop being poor. And that's basically what he's saying. Because, as fans pointed out about the $80 price hike that's a potential, Gearbox chief Randy Pitchford said, if you're a real fan, you'll find a way to make it happen. Direct quote. Quote, unquote, as they say. So yes, the video game industry has made the jump to $80, first with Nintendo and Mario Kart World, then with Microsoft and its price hike announcement that will kick in this holiday season. Could Borderlands 4 be next? This is coming off IGN, by the way. So yes, he had his little snippy response over there, and basically, here's the entire exchange. Randy, this game better not be $80. Don't take that risk. A lot of gamers aren't going to pay $80 and feed this notion of constant increase of price tag. Editor's note, yes, they will. They fucking will. It's going to happen. Just stop. We know it won't. You are the CEO, and you have some say with the price when it comes to your publisher. And here's Randy Pitchford's response. A, not my call. B, if you're a real fan, you'll find a way to make it happen. My local game store has Starflight for Sega Genesis for $80 in 1991 when I was just out of high school working minimum wage and ice cream parlor in Pismo Beach, and I found a way to make it happen. Right. Might be a shock, but as you'd expect, his comment has sparked some vociferous response. So yeah, then they start posting a lot of people's responses and the quotes and all the snarky comebacks and all that kind of bullshit. And yeah, the gamers, they are not happy with that kind of response.
Yeah.
So once again, Take-Two Interactive and Gearbox have been very hush-hush. They have not made any kind of commitment at all before we throw that out in the wind there. No one knows what they're going to be pricing anything going forward, but given the recent trends, it's going to be fucking $80.
Here's a question. You and I have talked about this. I don't want to solely put on Nintendo. Nintendo is a big driver at the end of the day of the industry. When they say their AAA title is going to be $80, everyone else is going to follow suit, and why not? I've said this for a while, and I fucking hate all the nerds on Twitter who go, yeah, but back in the day, you clearly didn't collect because Chrono Trigger was $80. And they also are referencing a fucking Canadian paper from Toys R Us. Like, They're not even using the right reference. I'm like, no, games were not $80 back in the day, period. Maybe one or two random ones.
I mean, a couple. I know that there were reports of Street Fighter that were super expensive. And there's some other shit out there that was.
But I know it wasn't 80 because my parents would have never got me any games if they were that kind of cost.
Oh, I was stuck. I never got new games. I was at the value bin.
Yeah, so there is a part of me that goes, all right, what point in economy and industry do we say it is reasonable, say games, take that hike, right? Like they were 60 and 50 for, since I can remember us starting the site, like forever. 60 was kind of the max. And nowadays, the once or twice a year, if I get a new game, I'm like, oh shit, it's like $70.
Yeah.
Like, it shocks me, but I'm like, okay, cool. But the amount of games I get on Steam, on sale on Xbox or PlayStation, I never pay full price. So I'm also out of touch with what is a new game actually cost.
Or you can play StarCraft all the time like I do, which is free through Battle.net right
now. But, well, that's the point, right? Like, I guess, how often do you think new games are bought compared to when we were younger?
I actually do think it's a lot. Again, being the dumb social media guy, all I see is them. They're not real people. But it is a microcosm of the greater zeitgeist. And people, they run out and they buy the new game. The new hype game, the new big name game, they all run out and they buy it and fucking they bitch about it. Here is a quick thing, like with your not completely blaming Nintendo. Look, I don't put this out in the wind to simp for these big name companies.
Yes, you do. Go ahead.
Okay, yes, Randy, just stick it in. But it's like gamers want everything, and it's not realistic when it comes down to it. Like, again, fuck, there's no way I'm not going to sound like an asshole. But, like, we all want better graphics. We all want games to run better. We all want bigger, longer games. But we also want to say the same price it stayed for 20 years. And we also don't want them to throw the microtransactions and shit like that in there. Like, that's what's been going on with these. Again, you don't ever have to buy AAA. There's 1,000 indie games you can buy, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
But, like, for the biggest problems in the AAA game industry right now, it's people being milked with season passes, people being milked with microtransactions, or just game prices being hiked. Mm-hmm. And this has been rumored forever. And I honestly, the first real impetus might have been when GTA 6 was rumored to be $100. That was even before all the tariff talk and crap like that. So it's like, it's been in the works for a while. And it's like, I kind of would rather just pay $80 up front than have a game that's littered with loot boxes and microtransactions. But it's also like, look, I don't buy games new. So I'm not the target audience. I'm not the one who's going to be affected by this ever. I don't really care about the plight of the person who has to buy every AAA game. No one has to buy every new AAA game. You don't have to do that. So if you are feeling left out or that you're being oppressed by the industry, then change your priorities, change your perspective. Like game review companies, they get it as a write-off, or professional YouTubers and shit like that. You know, Johnny Dick shit with a computer and too much time on his hands. You don't need to do that.
Mm-mm. At what point, listen, every industry has a price point based on the value put in. I don't necessarily think the people who develop Borderlands 4 are putting in more development time than somebody 20 years ago who did a AAA title. I think technology scales.
Or even 20 years ago who did Borderlands 1 when it was a new concept and not just the fourth fucking Borderlands.
So,
or like seventh with spin-offs or whatever the hell it is now.
That idea of scaling the price of... Like, I'm sorry, I can still justify GTA is a weird example of like, yeah, it's $100 for something that's going to last you 12 years.
That map's going to be so fucking big.
It's going to be impossibly big. They put billions of dollars. Borderlands, you're like, I don't know what you're doing for marketing. I don't know what you're doing for all the other stuff. But you probably can't tell me you're developing so much more than when you originally developed Borderlands.
Yeah. I mean, I mean, the processing power, you'll make a bigger world. The graphics will be better, obviously.
Sure, but you're scaling it to current technology, so your effort putting into it is not more than it was before.
Right, yes.
So I kind of go like, yeah, like I believe in a sliding scale. You can fucking go to a dollar store and get eggs that are almost expired for $1. There's a reason most people don't do that. You know why? Because, you know, they're questionable eggs, right?
Take a
and
risk.
then you go in and you're like, oh, do I get the organic, free range, $8, you know, whatever. Like
the organic dollar store eggs?
No, I'm saying you go to a regular store and you pay for organic, free range, all that other shit.
Right.
So
is there a market that we can
is,
corner with old organic eggs that we could be selling here?
You probably could, but here's the deal. Do you want dollar store eggs or the better eggs? You know, like there's a range.
True.
Video games should be no exception. I think games are mistakenly thinking set a base point in every new release. It needs to be $70, $80, whatever. We've said this before. Friday the 13th, Killer Clowns, all these games where you're like, that is not a regular game. It should be $30, $40 tops.
I mean, fucking Friday the 13th, for as much as we liked it, that was not a $40 game.
No, it was, but we could swallow it because we're like, they're not charging us.
Price falls a lot of things. Oh, go on.
Son of a bitch. We knew it was not a $60 game, right? I would argue most games on the Switch should be, even Switch 2, $20 games. They should not be the same price as their AAA games.
Right.
So, for Borderlands to even suggest that should be an $80 game, man, that's ballsy. I can accept most AAA. Like, sports games are ones where they rehash the same shit day in, day out. They put a lot of money into it.
That's going to be some shit when they start selling sports games for $80 because they're going to do it.
And every year, you're just going to get the new ones, right? Call of Duty, same deal. But then you can make the arguments where you're like, those are games where people don't stop playing them until the next year. Most people.
Yeah.
Whereas, I don't know, give me an example. Celeste, whatever. Fine game, whatever. Most people that do discover it, they play it once, and that's it.
Yeah.
There's
You're going to have the people who go and the completionist, who get everything in it. Sure, fine, cool.
Cool. Yeah, but you're not playing it for infinity, right?
It doesn't have that replayability, no.
Now, that's why I can even justify Mario Kart. As much as I don't like it, and I'm like, yeah, but you're going to play that for now probably until another 8 years.
And especially if you have a Switch, like that's going to be like, much like the Switch 1, Mario Kart's going to be the big multiplayer game on there.
Yeah.
People just, like, whatever the new Splatoon is and Mario Kart, you're not going to have too many other options. Oh, I mean, you have Wheelchair Rocket League. We have that. Play that.
What was that?
Wheelchair Rocket League.
They put rockets on the back of wheelchairs?
Well, we talked about it from that direct. It's that, like, 3-on-3 basketball game that, like,
Oh, I know.
kind of looks like Rocket League
Oh, I know.
with cripples.
I hate you, Jim.
I mean, they're not fat, so it's not because that's why. I'm going down a hole here. I'm going to stop.
No, but Borderlands, my whole point for saying this, Borderlands, you're not on that level. Best case, keep your game $70. I don't know if 60 is even a realistic price point anymore.
No, the cat's
Probably
out of the bag. You'll be lucky for 70.
Putting all that shit aside, to say that out loud, you'll figure out a way to do it. Come on, man. Like, I'm someone who believes in say what you want, but like you almost have if you have a company that big and you're responsible for a shit ton of employees, do better. Say better shit. Hire people, and I'm sure he has hired people who run your social media account who know better than to say shit like that. Like, that's all. That's it. Simple, Jim. Simple man.
I mean, I know about being simple.
Insert simple Jim.
Yep. Put the picture there. Do you have to make that? I think that would be a better mug than a t-shirt.
I mean, think about beer is a perfect example. We can get a whole goddamn case of hams for $15.
Beautiful.
And then you can turn a corner and it's $24 for like Bud Light. And you're like, is that really worth that much?
Yeah.
No, it's not. But there is a nice range. And as you discover and things become popular.
But right, then you can turn another corner and you can get 4 beers for $24.
Or you can get the Wendigo from whatever that Alaskan place is for $64 for one single bottle.
What the fuck?
I still want to get it for us because I don't know if it's the same bottle that's always been there, but the beer store near us, I almost want to buy it for us to review to be like, this is worth $64 for
Oh, we have
beer.
to try that. We have to try that goddamn thing.
Yeah. I mean, this is where there's a capitalist part of me that goes, let the market decide. Is it worth the value?
Yeah.
That's it. So, Randy, stop being a shit dick. Don't say dumb shit to your fans. And fans, if you're really in support of Borderlands,
That's Randy. That's how Randy's always been.
Yeah, just don't support it. Let your wallet speak for you. That's the only way. Bitching about it will never do it. Don't buy the product. Buy it secondhand.
But we know you won't, and you will. You're all dirty little pay piggies. That's what you all are.
You're goddamn right.
And you know what? So am I.
Speaking of...
I am not this small. I don't care what this video version makes me look. It's this goddamn chair.
It's adorable.
Not this small. Everyone on the audio version right now is like, what the fuck is he talking about? Just check out the YouTube version. Leave a comment.
That's right.
And you can see.
So, Chambers, here's the real question. We went from talking about someone who wants to blast people for being poor to a situation which made a lot of people rich. And
Yes.
potentially could continue.
This company is just, it's a cockroach. It will not die.
Nope.
We are talking once again, money-wise, about good old GameStop. So the article, link below, and whatever the fuck you're listening to this, comes from MarketWatch.com, given to us attention through the good old Discord. Link will be below our Discord if you want to come hang out. And yes, Brian, GameStop stock is in play again. This time, it's not a meme thing. And shares of the video game retailer and original meme stock GameStop are riding the Bitcoin wave. So, GameStop, GME, is up 5.5% this afternoon, and this was written as of, like, last week.
Yeah.
Only 3 days ago, so last Friday, as of this recording or something like that. I think I'm wording that right. The games may not be on company news, rather. Shares have been lifted by the rising price of Bitcoin, which has gone up another 0.11% to 111 goddamn thousand. What the fuck? God, do I wish,
Of course.
back in 2012, when I went, well, that's fucking stupid. Doesn't mean anything.
Jim, you could have been the guy who used Bitcoin to buy pizza.
Man, if there was ever a guy who should be on Suicide Watch, it'd be that guy. I think he got interviewed, and he just kind of went, yeah, what are you going to do? Brian, going back to my beloved StarCraft.
Go on.
There were StarCraft tournaments, I believe, where, like, first prize would be, like, $3,000 or something. It would go down from there. And then, like, 8th place, like, barely qualifying for the, the finals would be, like, 25 Bitcoin. When it was worth, like, 7 cents, if that.
Of course. I mean, that's the attraction, right? Of penny stocks, of all these. How many friggin' offshoots of Bitcoin are there now that you can get for fractions of a penny? And you're like, oh man, if it gets to $1, this is my goal. But that's like stocks in general, right? And I also look at it like it's easy to say, like, if you were that guy who sold it for pizza, how easily could that have been some bullshit stock that went nowhere?
Oh, yeah.
Who was the guy that got kicked out not kicked out, he left the Beatles and wanted to go off on his own?
Left the Beatles?
There was a guy, I think, before Ringo.
Pete Best?
Yes.
The first drummer? Yeah.
Yeah. Like, did he leave or was he kicked out? I can't remember the story.
I think he was fired?
I thought he left. Like, I thought he wanted to basically do a solo career or do something else. And I forget.
I know the original drummer for Blink left before Travis came in.
I'm thinking Beatles just because I'm like, all right.
Does Pete Best have a shitcoin? Is there a Best coin out there?
My point is, like, could you imagine being that guy? The band you're in, well, you're tied to your brother, but I'm saying, could you imagine if you're like, I'm going to leave my band and go do something else, and then that band became the Beatles?
Oh, I'd kill myself.
But that guy's been interviewed, and he's like, no, it was the best decision. I had a family. Like, he seems okay with it all.
That's called coping. That's what that's called. But no, I could have been in the biggest band in the world. Or, good thing little Timmy had softball today. This is way better. Get the fuck out of here.
That's my point. That's a Bitcoin guy. That's, the drummer before Travis Barker. Like, there's these moments where you're like, yeah, what else are you going to do? Are you going to be completely like, fuck it? But the GameStop shit is one where, even with AMC, seeing your trends with that, buying when it's high.
I'm very good at this. I think after like my recent like sells a couple months ago when it was like another high point, I think I'm like even and I got rid of everything because I'm like, I am too dumb for stocks. I don't have the attention for it. Fuck it. Like, not doing that. I'm thankfully, like, I was probably a little bit down, but like it wasn't a catastrophe or anything like that.
Yeah.
Luckily. But why are we talking about all this? Why are we talking about GameStop? How the fuck are they doing this? Well, GameStop has thrown its weight behind the cryptocurrency. Earlier this year, the company's board unanimously approved an update to its investment policy to add Bitcoin as a treasury reserve asset. This move did not come completely out of the blue, as Bitcoin buzz has already been swirling around the video game retailer and its chief executive, Ryan Cohen. And then they kind of go on that. And GameStop had its biggest daily percentage increase since April 4th, when its stock rose 11.3 fucking percent. And its stock may have more room to give ruin. Bitcoin has soared 16.5% in May, while GameStop has soared almost 20%. And it was the second most trending ticker on Thursday on Stockwits, which is a social platform for stock fucks. And like AMC was another one, but that hasn't had any real change because it's not tied to Bitcoin right now. And they're just raking in all the goddamn money. So if you're someone who still had your GME from the old meme days and you didn't sell everything, you're booming again, apparently.
But here's the deal. I imagine if you're someone who still had it from back then, you're probably a type that's not touching it anyway. You're probably holding on to it for perpetuity, like basically till you really need it. Like, I feel like the people that would come in, make money, sell it, like, probably are way more, like, I give total credit. Yes, you could not have a traditional career and be a stockbroker, like, not even a stockbroker, but
Day
like
trader.
a day trader. But man, like, just like I give credit to people on Twitch and YouTube who your daily in and out is doing that. You're grinding. It's not an easy life. And yes, some can hit it big, but most are like probably like barely getting by.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is interesting. I mean, Bitcoin is one of those interesting things where that is the Coke and Pepsi brand of crypto, right?
Oh, yeah, by far. Like, when you think cryptocurrency, like, most people just be like, oh, yeah, you got one of those Bitcoins. Like, back when, like, Shiba and all that other bull crap or whatever shitcoin you buy.
But here's a reality. Bitcoin still has a potential of, like, one day if somehow tied to the Federal Reserve, they start accepting it nationally as not even that version, some other version they create, Bitcoin could just tank. So it's still so volatile, even though it's the most stable of crypto.
Yeah, I mean, even before a couple years ago, like, it was up to about, what, 70 grand or something?
Yep.
And then that's when I was buying it. And then it decided to crash back down to about 15. So, like,
Yeah.
it can very much happen.
The attractiveness of it is its volatility, right? Like, it's huge peaks and valleys. And like we
Brian,
said,
you stupid fuck. Stocks only go up. So that's why
Really,
when you
Jim?
buy,
Really?
you just go up.
How did AMC go?
And you have to hodl. As long as you hodl, it'll always go up.
Is AMC going to go up?
They always go up, Brian.
Gold and silver goes up, Jim. NASDAQ. It kind of goes up.
Why silver? Why now?
I mean, it's interesting, but for games,
Ripple. What about the Ripple? Oh, my Ripple.
GameStop, you and I have talked about them. Like, when do you think that you just see them going out of business? At this point, like they've changed their model so much to games, only new games. We did retro, and then we got, or not even retro, last gen. They got rid of that. Then they're like, we're gonna do retro again, and then we're gonna be like at toy sales. And then they fucked off with that, got rid of it, then brought it back. And you walk into a GameStop right now, it's mostly toys, collectibles. It basically looks like Hot Topic, but with some games.
Yeah.
And then I just went into one recently, and I'm like, wait, why are there, like, once again, last-gen games all of a sudden? But the shelf is, like, one deep.
Yeah, it's not a huge shelf, but yeah.
I'm just like, man, you and I have said, I never want to see them go away because I don't want to only rely on Amazon, Best Buy, and Walmart to sell me my games.
Right. And even Best Buy isn't doing physical games anymore.
Yeah, so I don't know.
And Bri, it's weird because like it's like they're closing a ton of stores, which might be a good thing. Maybe they had too many locations for a long time.
Sure.
Like when I first started my job 15 years ago, across the street from my job, there's a GameStop. Across the street in a strip mall. Across the street from that strip mall in a different strip mall was another GameStop.
Yeah, it's too much.
There would be time I literally went over there and they're like, oh yeah, we don't have that game here, but just go across the street. They have it. And I was like, this is fucking crazy. And now both of them are gone. So it's like they're closing up a lot of their brick and mortar shops. Like they're both not doing great. It's the thing where it's like the stock might be doing okay right now, but like the company as a whole isn't. But
yeah,
like, the board and all that shit only really care about the stocks and the stockholders who like, own this publicly traded company. So it's like, I don't know where that line of demarcation stops.
And then here's a question to your point. So the shop closest between you and I up the road, I went in there because I had like extra money and I was like, you know what? Let me get my son a Switch game. And I just happened to, it was like a couple days after the Switch 2 announcement. I was like, do you guys even take pre-orders for that? And they're like, no, we sold out. Closest is like the Philly one down at the Fashion District.
Oh, God.
So Center City. And they're like, and even them, they sold out like really quick. So I was like, ah, shit. Okay. Right there, that told me it's like, you can't even be the hub for people to come to for the latest system or the latest pre-order. And Switch 2, I know, is its own unique thing, but I go, yeah, that's disappointing. Like, as much as I hate it, midnight releases of Call of Duty to have to get up, go out to a physical store.
Ah, they were fun.
I missed the shit out of it. Like, there was something to that, right? The excitement. Let me go to Wawa. Let me get my Mountain Dew, my Doritos, all my shit. Let me prep up. We would do bowling or whatever the fuck we would do. Like, there was something to that.
Grab a couple beers, hang out.
You talk to some people that, you don't know them, but you're all there at midnight for a fucking Call of Duty release.
And especially back in the early 2010s when they would have the game trucks there.
Yeah. Now it's, that's just, there's more gamers, but there's less excitement for the games. I don't know. It's like a weird culture shift.
We used to be a society, Brian.
Yeah, everyone is now a gamer, but there's no true gamers.
In theory.
Yeah.
Except for the gamers who gatekeep gaming.
Well, then
and call the other gamers not gamers, even though they are gaming all the time.
But yeah, so I support anything that helps GameStop stock, but I don't see it lasting very long. So please don't be, and don't go buy it while it's high right now.
Fucking, what are you talking about? Buying right goddamn now. I don't know what you're fucking saying. But Bri, speaking of people tied to GameStop and who made a shitload of money off GameStop, let's jump into one of our little recurring topics as of late. We love our lawsuits around here. Smash JT and Alyssa Mercante, of course. So, this was as of today. Smash texted out there. Alyssa's activist lawyers have just said the quiet part out loud. We've presumed since day one the case is to create an example to push their agenda forward. This was never about me at all. Alyssa is going, or he takes some quotes. So he says, how ironic, and texts his lawyer, Ron Coleman. So the actual quote from Don McCowan, the lawyer for Alyssa Mercante. I've mentioned on here that I'm working on litigation about Gamergate. Here's a video from our client who decided to chronicle the amount of harassment she receives on a daily basis from the internet's worst people. Somewhat surprisingly, or unsurprisingly, the first version of this video was taken down by YouTube because she didn't obscure the email address of the guy who was sending her consistent rape threats. Yes, YouTube. That's definitely private information, quote unquote. If you ever wondered whether YouTube profits from harassment, note that none of the videos were from people reveling in sending her rape threats has ever been taken down. Devil's advocate here real quick. Not that I watch every single one of these videos about her, because I would rather drink bleach than do that. I don't remember anyone ever making a rape threat at her. The closest was maybe 8-Bit Eric's stupid, I'll show you 8-inch Eric line, which is more just sleazy, but it wasn't like rape thready.
But let's just...
But she takes a ton of shit, and there's a lot of people who hate her, so
and granted,
there's probably some out there.
I'll give benefit of doubt. Probably someone did do a threat that would be conceived that way.
I mean, some fuck made a fucking virtual reality assassination of her, so anything's on the table there.
Yeah.
The girl takes a lot of shit. So, about 15 months ago, when Alyssa wrote the article she mentions, she also asked where the men who said last time that they would never stand for watching women should be harassed. I said, hey, I'm men, and I don't even have a job to lose anymore. So I put out a series of tweets in which I referenced my years of running trust and safety programs at my various employers, and how those programs were aimed to keep out these assholes. This got so much rage from the dork web that Fox News wrote a hit piece about me. Fox News? Oh, fuck it. Why is Fox News talking about Gamergate? God. So I have a 0.1% understanding of what this must be like for her. Alyssa is going to make law, and that law will hopefully be the beginning of the turnaround of today's hate-filled internet. Of course, it'll be extra hard to turn that ship around, now that it's the primary focus of support for the current U.S. president. Even still, we beat on boats against the current, borne back ceaselessly into the past.
That's a lot of good word salad, but here's the problem.
Well, a little self-important. Go on.
Yeah. The problem with that whole narrative is, unfortunately, I don't care where you land politically, right? We can say shit is divided.
You don't say.
What they are driving at, though, is that lawyer is like, we're going to make law of this. Do they not realize the same shit. They're saying it from perspective of someone, let's just say from the left, who's receiving a lot of hate from people on the right. Back to Gamergate. If you make law against speech and how it's perceived, a lot of shit people say on the left will then be perceived under the same law, and it'll be outlawed as well. Like it's not a
which might not be a terrible thing.
No, it's not. But that's what I'm saying. Like the unintended consequences of going too far to either side is how we ended up where we are right now.
Yeah, everything's an overreaction, overcompensation.
Like so. Her one case should not be the landmark case in current law as far as what you can say and not say online. I mean, it's to equate that to like a landmark case like Roe versus Wade is kind of what he's almost saying is like, this will change everything. It'll change law. It's like, calm down. This is a journalist who got hated on excessively, but then also went on a tirade of talking shit to all these people and inflaming them more. Not saying that she deserved that hate, but didn't. I'm not saying she welcomed it, but she kind of fueled the, fanned the flame, right?
Old victim blaming Brian at it again.
Is she the victim? I'm asking you.
Ish.
Is between her and Smash, are either of them victims?
I mean, with the shit that she posts daily that she's being sent, she's way more victim than he is. He's not really taking any shit right now. He's just having a financial hit that he brought on himself.
But is that freedom of speech?
Yeah, I'm not saying it's not. So it's a very slippery slope.
I'm saying with those two in particular, are either of them a clear victim? Like, meaning you had no part in with the situation you're in right now.
It's not like they just randomly targeted her and she never had anything to say online. Yes.
So this goes back to, you're not completely guiltless in this. You know what you did. You know the part you played. Is it just playing out?
Well, at this point, it has to play out with everything that's going on.
No, it has to. And that's where it's like, when did they say we talked about this last time. When did they say the
first hearing or whatever?
Yeah.
I forget. It should be coming up soon. But here's the thing, though. Like, you say that like this shouldn't be the landmark case. It's kind of what makes it a landmark case. Like, you could be something innocuous that turns into something bigger.
Yeah.
That's why, like, H3's case back in 2016 was such, like... Another burp. Excuse me. Good time for that. Was such a huge thing for the internet and why he became the hero of the internet for a good couple of years. Besides being, like, very popular, like a top commentary guy. It's because, like, some musclehead YouTuber who didn't like him sued him for saying, like, he was a scam or something like that. And, like, that could have been, back then, the legal precedent groundbreaking case. And H3 winning, enabled fair use as we currently know it to keep going on and commentary and shit like that. But if Alyssa wins this, that could be the new... It takes one. That's what I'm coming down to. It takes one, and whether you like it or not or think it's important or not, it only takes one kind of case like this to set the entire thing. Now... This guy saying we're trying to make a law. Like, there's a difference between having a legal precedent and making a law.
Yeah.
So, like, I think this guy's definitely, that's shooting for the moon right there. But then again, the whole lawsuit kind of is with all the damages they're taking and shit like that in a lot of ways. But if they don't get the financial win, but they get the thing that says, this is considered harassment, she just changed the whole scape of YouTube internet commentary.
So here's my question. Jim is the guy who's online, but let's not say you're not personally invested. You're invested because, not that you need to be, that you are.
Right.
Whose victory in this lawsuit do you think is better for everything? And this is take away personal opinions of either party.
No, here's what it comes down to.
The precedent that sets.
No, for YouTubers and even for us for talking about content and topics, maybe like this is what probably the 10th, maybe being generous or conservative time we brought up this lawsuit.
Yeah.
If there's a chance that if Alyssa wins and us even saying it as a topic, not like I've been avoiding it as a thumbnail topic and shit like that. But, you know, even just having it like that could, if she wins, this could maybe be considered that. So in the realm of YouTube, we kind of all have to root for Smash. But in the realm of not YouTube comment or content creators, you kind of have to root for Alyssa. Because, I mean, look, we're small time. We know we are.
Yeah.
But maybe there's one day I say something fucking stupid on Twitter when I'm drunk. Maybe. And all of a sudden I'm shocked that hasn't happened yet. I'm a good boy. And we become the villain of the day. And we get flooded with hate. There's 10,000 videos made all this and shit like that. It's human to think, hey, I don't like this. And then the YouTuber part of our brain would go out the window and just go, hey, can I not have my name dragged through the mud like this for every single thing I do?
Yeah, but see...
So it's two things. Like, I guess real life people, it's probably better Alyssa wins. YouTubers and Twitch people, it's better Smash wins.
But here's the problem.
Because free speech only stops you, like, from the letter of the law from getting... It should prevent you from getting locked up for an opinion. It doesn't stop you from getting fired. It doesn't stop you from getting hate. It just stops you from getting arrested for an opinion.
But would you say... See, what you just described is if Jim made a dumb comment one time...
I would never do that.
Yeah. Then, and there was just a whole cattle call of YouTubers who were like, this fucking idiot, all this.
Yeah.
She would not only say something once, she said it dozens of times, and then would fan the flames of, if you don't like it, fuck you. Like she doubled down, basically.
Yeah.
Not like I'm on stream, I said something offensive one time, like, oh, fuck. Like, this is my position. Fuck you if you don't like it. So it's tough, like, because you're allowed to just disagree with people, right?
Yeah.
But then when she would call out all these folks who were disagreeing with her, she was doing what they were doing, but less successfully. So she was almost doing to them what they were doing to her, but they just weren't getting the same heat that she was getting.
I mean, she was getting all the heat, that's for goddamn sure.
Well, that's my point, right? Like, she was basically failing
here's the thing. She was getting the heat, but they were making the money off it.
Yes. Well, she was failing.
She lost her fucking job and career from it.
She lost the war, right?
Yeah.
Like, her job was to call out this shit.
If the war is the lawsuit, she lost the battle, which was her job.
Yeah, but there's difference. Like, she was an active. It would be, man. I'm trying to think of a good way to say this.
Brian, are you Gary Oldman because you're tiptoeing right now?
No, don't you dare.
Fantastic movie.
She engaged in the war and lost, is what I'm saying. Even if she wins the lawsuit, she lost every single battle in that war. But she was an active participant. She wasn't a civilian who just happened to be a bystander and then got caught with some bullshit. Oh, yeah. She was... So that's my point.
It's not like there's a very clear and obvious... Like, that's a reason that there's two very vicious sides to this.
That is my whole point. Like, if it was random Kotaku journalist, and we've covered a couple of them, who, like...
Oh, there's a lot who've made an ass of themselves or made some inflammatory comment. They got some heat and then it went away after a week. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Where she was like, oh no, I'm going to take this and make it. I'm going to keep building on it. So it's like, yeah, like sometimes some people you just need to take the L and move on. You're like, fuck. All right. It is what it is. If you it's like teaching your kid. If your kid keeps touching fire and you're like, stop, you're going to burn yourself. If she does it 20 times in a row, you're going to be like, what the fuck? I'm going to keep yelling at you, but like now you're doing it to yourself.
Yeah, I mean, like right now we're trying to teach my daughter how to ride a bike. And she is definitely scared of falling off and having that fall. Of course. And like, you know, as a father, you want to like, you know, protect her, like catch her when she's starting to get a little unbalanced and shit. But eventually it's like, I'm waiting for that one big fall to happen. I'm like, it's got to happen. She's got to see that it's not that bad.
Yeah. Well, that would be like, she heard you say this multiple times, and now she's like, I'm ready to drive a car. And you're like, no, the fuck you're not.
Yeah.
And then she jumps in a car, and there's an accident, and you're like, the fuck? Like, That's the equivalency of, I can't say she's the extremism that she was getting hate, Alyssa, like, not okay.
And to be fair, that she continues to get. She gets it daily.
Right. But once
right
again,
now she's posting, even as of today, what a fun Memorial Day, to be posting some guy who's making 1,000 things and just, like, you know, sending her rape threats and shit like that. Like,
but
it's not good. It's terrible.
Here's my question. Do you think Smash gets hate stuff too?
Oh, yeah, he definitely does. Oh, no, like, don't get me wrong. Like, the people who hate Smash, they fucking hate him. And, like, he'll just post, like, I don't think he should be posting his family on social media as much as he does for as inflammatory as he is. Like,
well,
he definitely should not be doing that. But, like, he'll post a picture and then people will just start bashing his
the worst
wife.
stuff. Yeah. And that's my point is,
and
right?
It's like, she's married to the fucking guy, but she has nothing to do with it. She's not even online.
It's a choice in, all right, if he took the time to say, let me compile every piece of hate text, Twitter, mail, video that was made on me, I bet there's probably a higher volume because he's more public almost at this point.
No, I think Alyssa gets way more.
You think so?
I would say she gets way more.
I think she gets more vicious. I think he probably gets more volume just only because he has more eyes on him.
I mean, they both have a shit.
It's one of those things, right? Like the percentage of, let's say, he has, what is he up to in like subscriber? He's got a lot of subscribers.
Oh, I mean, his YouTube exploded. He's like over 100,000.
So just by that alone, let's say 20% of the folks, that's 20,000. Her number is much smaller.
Yeah.
If 20% of hers, it's a much smaller number, but maybe she's at 50%, but that's still less than the percentage. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I mean, you can't take you can't take hate views and comments off subscriber numbers, though.
But no. My point being, like, she has accepted the role in this war of she's no longer the attacker, she's the victim.
As the journalist martyr, almost.
Yes. And he's like, I am the freedom fighter for all the, like, it's so dumb, all of it. You know how I feel about all this shit. Yeah. I'm like, you both should just fucking walk away.
It's infinitely interesting and infinitely, like, frustrating and preventable. Yeah.
I mean, we've both talked, love to talk to each of them. But at the same time, I'm like, my opinion is going to be like, why the hell are you two not walking away from this? And now neither of them can.
Oh, yeah.
You're locked in, and it's like, yeah, it's pretty fucked up. But this lawyer of hers, he's
I mean, for as much as like Smash's like guy Ron Coleman, like he's like a Twitter famous lawyer kind of deal.
Yeah.
So like he's like, you know, being Twitter famous and like, you know, a little incendiary is his brand too. But like this fucking guy, like
if I were her, I'd get a new lawyer.
Now, I guess
that's all I'm gonna say.
I guess the only thing around that you could say would be that's nothing that they want to be saying in their opening statements probably anyway.
Sure.
Like, that would eventually come out in court, but yes, I mean...
The way he's talking, though, I'm sorry.
We're going to change the internet. It's like, ooh, you don't take on the whole internet and win.
If I was a friend or a cousin or sibling of Alyssa, and I saw her lawyer post, I'd be like, this is clearly a lawyer that just agrees with you, that's trying to make a name for himself. Probably get yourself a new guy. I would be pushing that very hard.
It's so weird how both of them just keep tweeting about this nonstop, and both of their lawyers are like, "Yeah, we okayed what they're saying." It's like,
do you not like whoever represents Billy Mitchell? Get that guy.
Holy shit! Yeah, really.
You know what? Actually, just get Billy Mitchell.
Justin Wang had such a good tweet where he's like, "Billy Mitchell won this case so hard that people just overlooked that he's a cheater and a fraud."
Yeah.
And it's like Billy's taking his. You know what? I'll even say a well-deserved victory lap on this.
Yes.
Carl Dunn fucked up. He goofed. But that doesn't take away that Billy didn't viciously cheat beforehand.
Yeah, but that's not the important thing, and that's
perception is reality, as they say.
Honestly, what I feel like will come out of this, like, I don't agree with the amount of videos and the shit that Smash might have put towards Alyssa. With no background in law, my guess is it's going to go his way. Just a guess. And it's not for any reason other than, like, yeah, it'll come down to like a back and forth, but like, yeah, whoever represents Billy Mitchell, or maybe get Billy Mitchell himself, represent you. Move on.
Yeah, I mean, it could probably be very easy for Smash to just be like, look, I don't like this person. I make videos about them. But if you look at my videos, I've never encouraged anyone to do this. And Alyssa side can argue that, it's an implicit, blah, 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 or whatever. Or, I mean, there's times that he's, Smash is dumbly retweeted, like, something or other, smashing or other.
Sure.
So, yeah.
It's all up in the air. I for both their sakes, I hope this shit just gets resolved.
For both their sakes, when the fucking C&D came out, they should have had, my theory is, they should have had lawyers who are professional talk as lawyers and go, how do we settle this before it goes too far? But they didn't, and it's obvious neither of them came into this wanting to just settle or stop anything.
I still say you and I should be the peer mediators for this whole case. But, who are we, Jim?
We just sit there and we go, look at you. What are you doing?
What are you doing? Think about it.
What are you doing? And then we talk to the other one and you go, you wait your turn. Look at you.
Jim, as a honorary member of peer mediators throughout much of my school career.
God.
Do you think I resolved all my cases? You fucking right I did.
Yeah, you can bullshit your way around there. That's for goddamn
Listen,
sure.
Do I call people out on their bullshit? Yeah. Do I get results? You tell me.
There's bullshit to be thrown around. That's for goddamn sure.
Speaking of results, Chambers, that's the kind of beer I want you to bring from now on. That good shit.
The good shit, the good.
That was good. Obviously, we moved on from the banana bread to our Rolling Rocks, which, I'm sorry.
No, actually, as we were talking about earlier, but not to cut, I mean, Rolling Rock's Rolling Rock. Like,
yeah.
It's a classic. It's a staple. And it's one of those old friends you come back to and you just go, man, I forgot how much I like this. Mm-hmm. But the banana bread, you were talking beforehand about after the initial runts feeling went away. What were your thoughts by the end of it?
I really liked it, but I think one was enough. I probably could power through two, but I think at two I'd kind of be like, I feel like it wouldn't sit so well in my belly.
Two would be a lot. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very bready. It's very banana-y. But, no, I mean, if you want banana bread feeling in a beer,
it's damn good.
Yep.
And I mean, we've had...
But just like real life, how many slices of banana bread do you have when you have banana bread? Am I even wordsing at this point?
Probably two when it's first baked, and then it's always like that, I'm about to go to bed, but maybe I can sneak down and get one more. And you're like, I probably shouldn't. And then you do it, and then you feel like shit.
Yeah, then it starts to get a little too crumbly at that point, all that crap too. It gets to be a little bit more of a hassle.
Great beer. Definitely try it out if you can. And Rolling Rock, come on, it's fucking Rolling Rock. If you hate on Rolling Rock, come on. What are you doing with your life?
Yeah.
Look at you.
Yeah, look at you. What are you doing here? What are we doing here?
But with that, guys, we want to say thank you all so much for watching, for listening. If you are watching on YouTube, make sure to hit the subscription button. Comment below what you liked, what you didn't like.
I'm not doing coke. I just have allergies, I swear. These goddamn sniffles.
Sure. But if you are listening on Podbean, Spotify, iTunes, hit the subscribe button. And if you leave us a comment and a 5-star rating, we'll read each and every one of those comments on these Power Hour podcasts. With that, we want to say have a good night, everyone. Cheers.
Cheers, everybody.